Hi guys, this is Kirsten and today I have a comparison for you. I am going to be comparing the Moleskine Professional Notebook with the Leuchttrum 1917 notebook. How do they stack together? Which one will win? Which one will reign supreme in my heart? Well, first things first, I have been a firm lover and believer in the Moleskine Professional Notebook. If you've been on my channel at all, you know I think I made at least 2 videos dedicated to this type of notebook. So I've had a long history with this notebook. That being said, I think the opinions I'm about to share may shock you, and I think it just makes it a little bit more valid knowing that I know this longer. So I think that gives a little bit of a background. I think that gives a little bit of a preview. It could just be cryptic, I don't know. But I'm going to be using the Professional Notebook, and this is the Grid Leuchttrum. These are similar enough. I think the most comparable, like if you want to be like dead stickler, you would just get the lined Leuchttrum, but it's the same thing. These are hard-bound black notebooks with an elastic, a pocket in the back, some bookmarks, cloth bookmarks. So they're basically very similar. Like from afar, from the non-stationary aficionado would probably be like, those are the same notebook. I don't know what you guys are talking about. But for me, they're quite different. And so price point for the Moleskine Professional Notebook runs you about $21, can be a little bit less or more depending on where you purchase this. Of course, Amazon being the cheapest. And then this is the Leuchttrum that ranges about $18. So the Moleskine is a little bit more expensive, which wouldn't bother me all too much, except I don't think this is worth those 2 extra bucks. And there are many reasons why. First of all, you get more bang for your buck here. This Leuchttrum 1917 has like a couple extra centimeters of width. So if you have hefty, chunky writing such as myself, that really comes in handy. I feel like I could spread out in the Leuchttrum as opposed to the Moleskine, which is a little bit too narrow for me personally. But the size is also a con because this does take up more space and is a little bit more bulky and slightly more odd shaped just because it looks more square. So that is a pro or con depending on the person. Something that I can say with Ultimate definitively, that this one also comes with more bang for the buck, just for the fact also that it comes with 2 bookmarks. I don't know how well it's going to be focusing on them, but it comes with 2 cloth bookmarks as opposed to 1. That might not seem like a big deal, but if you're going to be using it as a bullet journal, which I am, it makes keeping track of everything so much easier. It's something so small, but it makes my life so much better. Like, who would have known? And they're also different colors, so you can tell which one. Oh, just genius. The small things, guys. The small things. And speaking of small things, I am going to point out the back pockets here. This is the Moleskine Professional 2 pockets. This one is kind of reinforced with this plastic. This one is an open like flap to give you more space. The back one of the Leuchttrum though is just singular, but it also has a reinforced kind of canvas feel to the pocket. It's just white, so it blends in more. But so far, I say that I have found using the Leuchttrum a little bit easier. I think this flap in the Professional gets in my way. Again, nitpicky. What else do these things come with? The Professional does come with these label stickers. They turn into tabs. You could label the spine, etc., etc. Leuchttrum, it only comes with the spine stickers. Not a big pro or con, but it is something to take note. Now let's talk about what is in the actual notebook themselves. Each one of these has these built-in organizational systems that make them so handy for professional students or just all around journal nerds such as ourselves. So they both have a table of contents. The Leuchttrum is completely freeform. It just has a little table looking thing, a place on the far left for the page number, and then a space for the title of the page. You get 3 pages. Yeah, 1, 2, and 3 pages of those, no numbered, completely free-formed, where in the professional, they have it all set up. They have it kind of like so. Each individual page is already, like, I don't know how well you can see it. I'm going to insert pictures. But they pre-write it out for you. They give a little segment for each page, so it's a little bit more user-friendly. Like, I found it a little bit easier to work with, because if it's kind of lazy, I just have to look, okay, that's on 52, just put what it is. It has 2 columns on 1 page, and each column has the numbers along the side. So that's really nifty. It makes it very brainless, very easy just to kind of move in. And I used the Moleskine a lot more, to be perfectly honest with you, than I have been with the Leuchttrum, just because if left to my own devices, I'm not going to do it. But this one makes it like, you're going to do it, girl. You're going to do it. Next, the Moleskine does have a little bit more of specialized pages and segmented, just because this is a specialized notebook. Technically in the Moleskine line, whereas the Leuchttrum notebooks, this is just standard. This is their everything. Like, every single one of their notebooks comes with these things. So that's nice. It's nice to have that built in. If you're not really interested in like their specialty pages, like for instance, this one has a space dedicated to group goals, project, table of contents, index, so on and so forth. So if you're not going to be using those type of things, just stick to the regular Leuchttrum. Why bother? Why pay the extra few bucks? Kind of to touch back on what I was stating earlier, I don't think the Moleskine is worth a couple dollars just because those couple of specialty pages, just because I don't feel the quality of the notebook is as good as the Leuchttrum. That breaks my heart. Moleskine is a classic. I have been using them for a very long time, and this professional notebook in particular has been near and dear to my heart, but facts are facts. I like the Leuchttrum better. Like, the quality of it is better. It's held together a lot. It's held up better. This one, as you can see, has been through the ringer. It's bent, it's warped, and you might be saying, well, you took this more. No, I've taken this everywhere. I've used watercolors in this. I have things stored in here. I do the exact same things to both of these notebooks, but this one looks nicer. It's smoother. Just the feel of the leather, or the faux leather, I should say, is smoother. The elastic seems a little bit more like quality, you know what I mean? It doesn't wear out. It doesn't get stretched out as easily. That's a perk. What else? The paper. Oh my gosh, the paper is a lot smoother. Like, texturally it feels smooth. So if you use inky pens, that might be a little bit of a drawback, but honestly, it takes ink really, really well. The Moleskine paper, it is like tissue, like ballpoint ink can seep through it at times. So the paper itself, just for the paper alone, Leuchttrum has to win it. It's just cheaper, it's more convenient, and it's just better quality. So definitely my recommendation would be the Leuchttrum. It breaks my heart. And you have a lot more of options in terms, this is a graph one. I think they have dot, and they have lined, they have blank, and they all have like these table context numbers and so forth. So that makes it really cool that you have that adaptability, where this one it's not really. The one con to the Leuchttrum that I do want to say is they're not as readily available as Moleskine. I've seen the Moleskine Professional at Target recently. Like, it is becoming very easy to get a hold of a Moleskine. You can walk into a bookstore, to Target, to Walmart, and most of them have some sort of Moleskine, whereas a Leuchttrum, I've only seen them at a couple bookstores, and we all know how bookstores are kind of going under, sadly, but it is kind of a pain to get a hold of this if you don't like buying things online. If you're like me, I like to hold them and feel them. So that's what took me a long time to get into this one, just because I like old-fashioned walking in and feeling a product before I buy it. Finally caved, and I'm so glad I did. So that is the one con, but it's not really that much of a con unless you're me. But anyway, sorry, hopefully I wasn't too babbly or chatty, and hopefully this was helpful. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, please leave them down below and I'll get back to them as soon as possible. Bye!